Good morning students. Welcome to Standard 1 English language class. Today I am going to teach you English language from your book Active English, and I shall teach you chapters 27, 28 and 29. Let's start with the first chapter. Chapter 27, that is very. The word very, when we use the word very, it shows that we are emphasizing on something to a great degree. Like for example, on one side we say cold and on the other we say very cold. Now when we say cold, we are talking that to a normal degree. But when we add very to the word cold, then we are emphasizing on the word cold to a great degree. Clear, students? Then you can have examples: tall, very tall; short, very short. Clear? Now let us see some examples. Complete the sentences. Is this a big tree? You have to look at the picture. Yes, it is. It is very big. Clear? Next. Is this a big tree? Now, is this a big tree? No. No, it is not. Then you will write, it is not very big. Clear? Is this a dirty shirt? Can you see? Yes. So you will write, yes, it is. Then you will put a full stop. Then you will write, it is very dirty. Now you have to write very because this is a very dirty shirt. Clear? Moving on to the next chapter, that is chapter 28, the indirect object. Now, the indirect object can be a person or a thing that an action is done to or for. This means that the indirect object can be a person also, it can be an object also. Now, whosoever is receiving the action, that becomes the indirect object. Now, let us see some examples. I wrote him a letter. Now, this action of writing a letter is done to whom? To him. So, him is receiving the letter. So, him becomes the indirect object. She gave them some books. Now, she is giving some books. Her action of giving books is received by them. So, here, them becomes the indirect object. Clear? Now, let us see some of the examples of how to change the sentences. Change the sentences. Mohan gave a rupee to Prem. Now here, Mohan is giving a rupee. To whom? To Prem. So here, Prem becomes the indirect object. So when we change the sentence, what we have to do is, for Mohan, we will use the pronoun he. Gave. Then we will write the indirect object. So for Prem, we will use him. And then a rupee. So, he gave him a rupee. Next, Maya is giving some food to the cat. So, Maya is giving. So, the action is giving. Giving what? Some food. Now, this food is received by the cat. So, how you will change this sentence? For Maya, you will use she is giving. For the cat, you will use the pronoun it. and then you will write some food. So how we have changed this? She is giving it some food. Clear? Next, please give a pencil to him. Now, this pencil will be received by him. So, him here is the indirect object. So, you will write, please give him a pencil. So, what we are doing? We are changing the noun to pronoun and we are bringing the indirect object to the middle of the sentence. Clear, students? Moving on to the next chapter, that is chapter 29, End Position Adverbials. Now, what are adverbials, students? Adverbials are the words or the phrases that are added to a verb. Now, let us see some examples. The girl is walking quietly. So, the girl is walking. Walking is the verb over here. Now, this word quietly is the adverbial. Clear? Next, I wake up at 6 o'clock every morning. Here, waking up is the verb. Waking up when? Every morning. So, this is the adverbial of time. Clear, students? You have to study the adverbial of time in this chapter. Now let us answer some of the questions. Question 1. When do you wake up every morning? When do you wake up every morning? You have to tell the time. So you will write you becomes I, wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. I wake up. Before the time you will write at. You can write 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whenever you get up. 6 o'clock. And you will write every morning. Clear? Next, what time do you go home every day? So you will write, you becomes I go home at 1 o'clock every day. I go home. Before the time you have to write at 1 o'clock, and you have to add this every day. Remember, students, the answer will be according to the question. What time do you go to bed every night? So you have to tell the time. So you will write, you becomes I again. I go to bed at 8 o'clock every night. I go to bed at 8 o'clock every night. Clear? So what we studied today, students? We studied the use of the word very, then we studied about the indirect object, and then we studied about end position adverbials. Now whatever we studied today, the worksheets related to these will be uploaded on your school website. Kindly go through them. That's all for today, students. Thank you.